What is going on, Lucid fans? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to talk to you about some good news that definitely insinuates that everything is going perfectly as far as operationally for Lucid and what that potentially means for us as investors, especially leading into Q2 earnings. Before I get into any of that though, making sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I greatly appreciate that. With that though, let's get right to it. So looking here, I just want to show you this as far as overall layoffs. We all know a lot of tech companies over the last month or so has been really laying off a lot of employees, including Tesla. And similarly, in the same sector, Rivian is the next to follow suit, and they just announced saying that they are laying off 6% of their workforce, which is pretty substantial and does represent a little bit more of an underlying issue going on with a lot of these companies, but not with Lucid. So I'm very happy to see that Lucid is actually having a hiring event on July the 31st. It was even posted on their actual local newspaper in Scottsdale, so that's a very big deal. And it does look like Lucid Motors is hiring in 𝗪𝗚. So at the end of the day, that's a very, very good sign, especially for the underlying business. And despite all of that though, Lucid has actually not laid off any of its employees. So that's a very positive thing. I always like to see that, especially keeping a lot of good skilled labor is a key to underlying success. That's my own 2 cents. I'm not a financial advisor though, so do your own due diligence. But the fact that Lucid continues to hire, especially looking on their website, it's a huge list of actual positions that they're looking for. That definitely shows that the underlying business is doing very much positive things, and hopefully they're ramping up production to what our expectation is. So we'll have to stay tuned for Q2 earnings to see what that is and what is said from that earnings. But despite that though, it's a lot of fear out in the market, and it's been like that for the last little bit. So you get institutions that are technically saying, such as JP Morgan, saying that a mild recession is already technically factored into the price. Then you get good old Morgan Stanley, and they technically are saying, you know what, this has just been a giant rug pull. That's basically what they're saying, that this Fed rate hike is just a trap. So you get a little bit more inconsistent information, but I think the underlying things is when you look at the business, if they are growing, and especially during a recession, if you want to call it that, then potentially you have a very good stock in your hand. So like I said, I think this Q2 earnings is going to be a lot bigger of a deal than what a lot of us already are assuming. So this is why I'm personally really going to be watching hands down on a lot of the finite details that is being said during the Q2 earnings, as should you, because I think no matter what though, a first year starting out company has some leeway in some regards, but I think as far as production wise and some other attributes, I think that is where you need to be a little bit more stringent. But generally speaking, I think this is a very good thing, and you can even see Lucid Insider does say that there's over 1,300 open job positions for this hiring event. So clearly a lot of big things, and I know technically the 𝗪𝗚, I'm not really sure what could potentially go there or what is associated, because that is a 116,000 square foot facility that they did lease. Not necessarily connected to the AMP facility. There is 2 other plots of land that they did, one of which purchase, one lease, that is connected to the actual AMP facility. And generally speaking, based on the Q1 earnings, it does seem like that is most likely, at least one of them is associated to the ESS, the prototype number 2 that they did allude to. So hopefully that is that. But when it comes down to the 𝗪𝗚, I'm not really necessarily sure. I know they have insinuated in the past that they want to do in-house cell production, and potentially this could be it. I'm not really sure. Let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comments below. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I greatly appreciate that. And if you do like my channel and support the growth, take a look at my memberships. Link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. With that, I appreciate you guys watching, and let's all make a lot of money on Lucid.